Hello everyone, and welcome to another Top 5 to Stay Alive for April 2021. And you know what? You got a choice to make. I mean, vaccines are upon us, and you know what? It's my opinion, I'm not going to get it. I will hold out to the last breath I take, but it's really your choice. And you know what? Maybe you've been holding out to see how other folks in your age group fare. Or maybe you recently bit the bullet and gotten your first shot. The choice to get vaccinated against COVID-19 is completely yours. After doing your own research and talking with your doctor, you know what? Only you can decide whether it's time to roll up that sleeve or not. Or if your appointment for your second dose is approaching, there are some things you should know and some things you should and shouldn't do right after getting the vaccine. In fact, there's even one simple way to optimize how well the vaccine could protect you. Here's what they may not tell you as you bare your arm, and what could save you from excess worry. Friend, I know you've had a lot of questions about COVID-19 vaccine, including whether it's safe, whether you should choose the Pfizer, the Moderna, or the Johnson & Johnson, and what life will be like afterwards. I urge you to talk to your doctor and ask him anything that's on your mind. But there are a few things I can give you a heads up on today. First of all, the vaccine won't make you completely immune to the novel coronavirus. It's not 100% effective in preventing symptoms or infection. That's why no vaccine can replace the following: proper hygiene, protecting yourself from crowds, and supporting your healthy immune system by taking CardioForLIfe before and after getting the shot or shots. You see, what the vaccine does is creates antigens that will attack the invading virus. But this is a specific antigen in that it's only going to attack COVID-19. So if next year COVID-18 or 17 or 21 or whatever comes around, guess what? You need another vaccine. And it goes on and on. But your body has something that attacks antigens just as well. And that's your T cells and your B cells. And guess what? CardioForLIfe boosts your T cell and B cell count, thus strengthening your immune system naturally. But if you do choose to get the shot, here you go. You'll have to keep doing many of the same things you've been doing over the course of the last year, at least until the year 2030, or maybe 2035, or maybe 2040, because they keep pushing the goalposts. I can also tell you that when some folks get the vaccine, their arms hurt where they get injected, they feel a little bit tired or even woozy, and some even spike a little fever. And those side effects may be worse after receiving the second shot. As long as these symptoms stay mild and resolve within a few days, there's just a sign that the immune system is working overtime to build up new defenses. That's why you should also drink plenty of water before and after the shot and shouldn't skip any meals. You'll need all the energy you can get. While not comprehensive, there are some other things that experts don't recommend doing related to the COVID-19 vaccination, including do not take any over-the-counter pain medicine like acetaminophen or ibuprofen before your shot, as they can blunt your immune response. They're okay to take afterwards. Secondly, scheduling other vaccinations within a couple of weeks before or after your shot, you want to space that out more so they're not competing for immune system's attention. And finally, becoming alarmed if something shows up on your mammogram. Although experts say you shouldn't reschedule your vaccine or delay your breast screening, they do warn that the immune response to the vaccine may cause armpit lymph nodes to swell on the same side as the shot that may look like a lump to a radiologist. If you can get an imaging done before your shot, or as the Society of Breast Imaging recommends, 4 to 6 weeks after your shot. Now, I promised you a secret way to help improve your immune system response to the vaccine, and of course, I would never leave you hanging. Turns out, past research has shown that sleeping longer can help maximize the efficacy of vaccines. You probably know firsthand how lack of quality sleep can wear you down, but it turns out that sleep is also crucial to your proactive immune system. And in the case of vaccines, that's especially true the night after you get your first shot or second shot. And remember, take CardioForLife before the shot, take CardioForLife immediately after the shot. That vitamin D helps to strengthen that immune system. All right, topic number 2. Speaking about your immune system, if the last year has taught us anything, it's that we need to keep our immune system in tip-top shape. Because if you let your guard down and relax your defenses, that's when infection can strike and you may never see it coming. You wouldn't go on a vacation and leave your doors unlocked at home, and you wouldn't park your car for hours with the windows rolled down. So why wouldn't you padlock your immunity to make sure your vulnerability is never exposed? Friend, you may think you're doing everything you can to support a healthy immune system. You might be getting plenty of quality sleep, eating right, and even taking your vitamins and supplements, but there's one bad habit that could sabotage all those good efforts and leave your immune system damaged. A recent in vitro study on white blood cells in a lab dish revealed a hidden culprit behind a dysfunctional immunity, and it's something that could be chipping away at your immune function on a cellular level right now. It's high fructose corn syrup. Here we go again. I recently, I think last month, shared with you how high fructose corn syrup can lead to a fatty liver and a leaky gut. But this latest study out of the United Kingdom adds to the concern over this highly processed sweetener that's so common in much of junk food of the Western diet. It turns out that when researchers exposed immune cells to high fructose corn syrup, it triggered changes in their cellular metabolism, ones that could be detrimental to immune protection should those cells ever encounter something they need to fight off. I'm talking about bacterial infections, sepsis, and even cancer. You see, healthy cells in your body usually break down sugar in the form of glucose for energy. But according to the latest study, when immune cells are treated with high fructose corn syrup, instead, their metabolic mechanisms change and their functions become reprogrammed. High fructose corn syrup treated immune cells embark on different type of metabolism which breaks down the amino acid glutamine into a substance called glutamate. The problem with this is twofold. First of all, this metabolic shift produces a lot more inflammation, and secondly, glutamate suppresses immunity. In fact, one of the ways that cancer cells dodge an immune response is by relying on this alternate type of metabolism. This gets worse because these metabolic changes don't appear to be temporary. In fact, the immune cells in the study appear to be stuck in their new gear and inflexible to new challenges. And if there's anything you need your natural defenses to do, it's roll with the punches. Don't let a junk food habit cancel it all out, all the good work you've been doing to support a healthy immune system. While it may not be possible to eliminate 100% of all high fructose corn syrup from your diet, try to cut out as much as you can. And to offset any lingering effects of high fructose corn syrup, including excess inflammation, a 2014 study showed that getting your steps in, a little exercise, can do the trick. Topic number 3. You might not feel any different right now, maybe just a little more tired than usual, but if you mention it to your doctor, he might tell you it's just a matter of getting older. Don't let him ignore the signs that your health may be headed in the wrong direction, especially when it comes to your thyroid function. If you're traveling down the path to hypothyroidism, you can still turn back. Fortunately, there's a natural way to nudge your thyroid hormones towards their optimal levels, a time-tested herb mentioned in Sanskrit sacred texts. Sometimes called the winter cherry for its red fruit, ashwagandha has been used for thousands of years by Ayurvedic medicine. You probably already know how this ancient herb can calm you down and relieve stress and anxiety. And I recently shared with you how it can even sharpen your brain and curb cancer. Even better, there's practically zero risk in trying ashwagandha. Turns out ashwagandha root provides a way of normalizing thyroid hormone levels without drugs or synthetic hormones. Now, this comes as no surprise, as ashwagandha is a stabilizing agent when it comes to other hormones in your body. As an adaptogen, it can help lower spiking levels of stress hormone, cortisol. And recently shared with you how this cherry root can help enhance the manly sex hormone testosterone. Well, in a 2017 study on folks with mild hypothyroidism taking 600 milligrams of a special ashwagandha root extract daily helped balance out the level of all three major thyroid hormones. Number 1, thyroid stimulating hormone known as TSH. Number 2, T3, and number 3, T4. All of these three hormones work together, as TSH triggers the production of T4, which your body converts into the form it can use, which is T3. If your levels of T4 aren't ideal, it can cause your pituitary gland to overproduce TSH to try to make up for it. And that elevated TSH is usually how a doctor will diagnose a low thyroid, even if you're not experiencing any obvious symptoms. And even if your T3 and T4 might appear normal on your labs, but in the study I just mentioned, taking ashwagandha for just 8 weeks brought TSH to a more optimal level and improved T4 and T3 levels too. Now, your thyroid gland requires one of those Goldilocks type situations, you know, too big, too hot, too cold, or whatever, situations, because thyroid hormone levels can go high, which can lead to hyperthyroidism. You need to keep them just right, which is why it's important to determine your starting point with a simple lab test you can get through your doctor. Now, scientists say they don't know exactly how ashwagandha helps normalize thyroid hormone levels, but they've got a theory. Elevated cortisol tends to drain your body of thyroid hormones, which is why your thyroid function can take a hit when you're stressed out. But turning down your stress hormone allows your thyroid to bounce back. If you've been confirmed with hypothyroidism with a lab test, even if it's subclinical, you'd like to try ashwagandha supplement. Look for an extract form used in the study I just mentioned. It's a special high-potency version of ashwagandha called KSM-66. KSM-66 is probably the purest form of ashwagandha on the market and one of the most studied ones too. It's been certified organic, non-GMO, and gluten-free, and the FDA has granted it GRAPE, generally recognized as safe, designation. Check the label on an ashwagandha supplement from a quality maker you trust, like Ultimate Ashwagandha by Swanson or KSM-66 Ashwagandha by Puritan's Pride. Moving on to topic number 4. Complain to your doctor about a migraine pain, and he won't just have one pill ready to shove down your throat. He'll throw the whole pharmacy at you. And the more he piles pain meds on top of mood meds, on top of God only knows what else, the worse you can feel. Some migraine patients just put up with it and shut up because, as agonizing as the pain is, some folks consider it more tolerable than prescription side effects. But you shouldn't have to choose between the lesser of two evils. And friend, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to, because there's a natural alternative that's been tested against some of those migraine drugs and passed with flying colors. You may have heard of 5-HTP as one of the most powerful drug-free sleep aids out there. Nearly every 5-HTP supplement you'll find on a store shelf is manufactured from tryptophan from Graphonia seed. Graphonia grows wild in the tropical Ivory Coast of West Africa, rainforests of the Congo, and grassy savannas of Central Africa. African folk medicine has relied on its green dime-sized seeds, which eventually turn black when dried, for ages. But here in the West, we're only just beginning to figure out what 5-HTP extracted from Graphonia seed can do, and that includes sending migraines packing. Modern research shows how supplementing with 5-HTP can reduce the frequency of migraines, as well as their severity, including easing the intensity of the pain and shortening the duration of the attack. And in studies, its effects have been significant, whether compared to a placebo, which is no treatment at all, or to a migraine drug. Unfortunately, too many migraine sufferers can't tolerate the side effects of migraine meds, which could include nausea and drowsiness. So, for migraine sufferers looking for a drug-free alternative, 5-HTP offers a viable option, because although it can help promote healthy sleep, it won't zonk you out. It appears to work for sleep loss and migraines in the same way by boosting your brain's supply of the neurotransmitter serotonin. Also known as the happy hormone, serotonin could help you beat back depression and anxiety, get a restful night's sleep, and erase pain. Folks who suffer from migraines tend to show lower levels of serotonin, but replenishing their supply appears to provide some relief. That's why some doctors will prescribe a serotonin-boosting antidepressant to their migraine patients. If you suffer from migraines, you know you're not depressed, you're in pain. And prescription antidepressants carry a whole bunch of risks on their own, including sexual side effects and suicidal thoughts. Fortunately, your body uses 5-HTP to produce its own natural supply of serotonin without those risks. Just make sure you don't combine the two serotonin targeting approaches, because too much of this brain chemical can be a bad thing. Look for a 5-HTP supplement from a quality maker you trust at your local health food store or online. And finally, we move on to topic number 5. You surely heard about melatonin. Here we go, sleeping again. And how it can banish insomnia by helping to regulate your sleep-awake cycles. But what you might not know is that it can also help keep you from losing sleep over cancer. We already know how the sleep hormone also acts as an antioxidant, and scavenging free radicals is crucial to beating back cancer. But it appears that the power of melatonin against cancer may go even deeper than that. Here's why you need to keep your levels high, and what might happen if you don't. Studies have shown that melatonin also has the ability to inhibit cancer cell proliferation, induce cancer suicide, known as apoptosis. It also can suppress tumor growth by cutting off their food supply and enhance immune response. This gets even more interesting because it turns out that there are melatonin hormone receptors on the mammary glands and ovaries of women, and gals who show lower levels of melatonin, especially at night, are at greater risk for breast and ovarian cancer. A 2019 study out of the Endocrine Society showed that suppressed levels of nighttime melatonin are also linked to cases of breast cancer spreading. That may be because melatonin can affect estrogen levels. But that's not all that's going on here, because it also works against hormone independent types of cancer. Likewise, a 2014 study out of the American Association of Cancer Research revealed how guys can benefit from melatonin too. Turns out that compared to those with lower melatonin levels, men in the study with higher melatonin levels had a 75% reduced risk of developing advanced prostate cancer. Now, there's one aspect of melatonin that's sure to make mainstream sit up and take notice, and that's how it can help conventional cancer therapies work better. I'm talking about radiation and chemotherapy. That could mean lower doses, which could lead to fewer and less severe side effects, and a reduced chance of developing drug resistance. Even better, melatonin shows zero toxicity to surrounding healthy tissue, something that can't be said for being zapped by radiation or poisoned by chemo drugs. And melatonin's antioxidant activity can help protect you from the ravages of those harsh treatments too. Now, taking a nightly melatonin supplement might help keep cancer at bay, but if you already got cancer diagnosis, you might need something more powerful. That's why researchers are looking into melatonin nasal spray or intravenous melatonin, and even more ways of administering it to boost its bioavailability and potency. Talk to an integrative oncologist to see what your options are. Moving on to my favorite part of this top 5, and that is testimonials. Number 1, I really love this company and all the products that they have to offer. I use the Colon Cleanse product and have for over 5 years. I just would not be without it. I've tried many other cleanse type products, and this one really works. Thank you so much, Dr. Harry. Thanks for that, Renee. Number 2, I'm in love with CardioForLIfe. I had a stent put in a few years ago due to angina and do not like taking prescription drugs. I started taking CardioForLIfe and I feel great. I liked it so much I joined the company and now promote it to all my friends. Thank you, Dr. Harry, for such an awesome product. Thanks, Laura. Number 3, my wife and I have been taking CardioForLIfe for a year now. I'm in my late 60s and my wife is in her early 70s. Our blood pressures are regularly at 125 over 70 and 80. Pulses are 65 to 75. Product is a great part of our regime, Thanks, Dr. Harry. Thanks for that, MJ. Number 4, it must be 10 years since Sandra and I started our journey with CardioForLIfe. In that time, we have consumed at least 7,300 scoops or 240 jars of this wonderful, great-tasting drink. When we got over my original circulation problems, we carried on with the drink. At 82 and 78, we enjoy life to the fullest, mainly due to the benefits we receive from CardioForLIfe. We have come to appreciate the true benefits of the drink, like clarity of thought and a body that works pretty well. I love riding my e-bike, walking and running not too far. We both know that we will never be 25 again, not in this world anyway, but I am happy to say I'm as fit as a 50-year-old. If you had asked us 10 years ago if a vitamin drink over a long period could produce such a sense of well-being in both mind, body, and spirit, I would have laughed at you. Empirical evidence shows, given a chance, CardioForLIfe over a long period of time can be highly beneficial to one's overall health. Here we stand in evidence. Thank you, Dr. Harry. Thank you very much. And thank you, Bob and Sandra. I tell you, the older you get, you don't want to end up in a nursing home drinking your meals out of a straw. And there's evidence, Bob and Sandra, now they're out there living life to the fullest. Number 5, recently I had ablation due to my AFib acting out. I have been taking CardioForLIfe for several years now. When the doctor came out into the waiting room to tell my wife all went well, my wife felt he was surprised by the fact that he found no blockage at all. That is why the procedure went so well. I am 73. Thanks, Dr. Harry. Well, thanks for that, David. And that concludes our top 5 to stay alive for April. Remember, if you want to try the new diabetes formula, we have it in grape powder or capsules. And just, you have to call me. It's not on the website, but call me and I'll get it out to you and you can try it and then report back to me and tell me how it works for you. Other than that, I will see you next month. And all of you, I pray that you have a blessed Easter. What a wonderful time of year to be celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ and, living life to the fullest. Take your CardioForLIfe. Thanks again. This is Dr. Harry saying good night to you all.